Yeah, I could echo that in a lot of ways. Like I think there's a lot of people that it sounds cool to have a team, but the best I can do is just share my story and see if it connects at any point. So after about 2.5 years in the business for me, the year I turned 23, I had a great mentor. Steve Likas is really, and I truly think he's the best realtor in Northwest Indiana. If you're his client. I've never seen someone who doesn't have the amount of time, takes so much time with each individual person. I learned so much from Steve. I also learned a lot of what not to do. Steve was a phenomenal agent, and he had a team, but it was one of those things where like there were no systems or processes or different things. But Steve it just naturally happened. He loved being an agent, and the leadership thing wasn't something that he necessarily like wanted to do. It just kind of happened. So I grew up as a sports kid. All I cared about was sports, and I think one of my just kind of God-given attributes was I loved gravitating to being the leader. It wasn't something that I was like, I'm going to be, it was just kind of how it was. So I think I was born that way. And I remember 22, 23 years old, being really busy, feeling super anxious, and I didn't know what anxiety was until I started doing well in business. And then stressed, I'm like, what? I thought this was going to do it, So one of the things that helped me, and this is more like emotional, like understanding like your mentality here versus strategic. You want to talk strategy about starting a team? That's different. I think first you need to decide whether or not it makes sense for you. The way it happened to me was I remember being like, I had heard, I'm a big fan of Tony Robbins, and Tony talks a lot about the 6 essential human needs. There's 4 of them that everyone gets, whether it's good or bad, and that's a whole different conversation, but the last 2 are growth and contribution. And those are the 2 that are based on feeling like a fulfilled quality life, having a good life. And I remember being like, I'm growing, my business is growing, I'm doing well, I never had money, now I'm making money, but why do I feel so shitty? Like, what is going on? Excuse my language. And so at that time, I remember missing that contribution piece. Like, I was helping my clients, but guys, I mean, it's not, we help them at the time. We don't change their whole life forever, every single day, And so I remember thinking back, I'm like, I'm missing, like, I'm feeling like I'm contributing. Why is that? And I thought about Tony Robbins' reference, think about what you did when you were a kid and why did you love to do it? I loved playing team sports. I was never in a solo sport. I was always on team sports. And I missed that ability to help impact people and also grow together. And so for me, it wasn't a financial decision. It was I want to be around other people who also want to grow. And I feel like I have something to give them. And so at 23, I started our team. And again, it wasn't a financial decision. We also it's been referenced a few times. We paid zero leads. I've never paid for a lead. We teach people how to fish. We don't give them fish. And so I firmly believe that's how you build a long-term, sustainable, duplicatable, predictable business, is one where you can go out and build the relationships and create it. So I've never paid for anything. And I tell our team that, when you're coming, I have no leads for you. None. I will teach you how to build it. And so now, for me, I started a team because I wanted to impact other people like this business has impacted my family and my life. So that's why we did it. And I felt like I was born that way. To the point, I don't think most people should ever start. You're thinking about it for the business aspect. Don't do it. 10 years ago, it was a race to the bottom, right? Now it's you either have to have something real, keep something real small and compact. A good transaction coordinator, a buyer's agent, maybe 1 or 2 other agents, something simple. In the middle sucks. In the middle is awful, right? And then as you grow, you have to get it either nice and compact or something really big. And most people are not meant to lead other people. Most people are not meant to be there in that situation. I don't, thank you, brother. And so for me, it was a emotional decision of I was born this way. I can't help myself but not try to want to help other people grow. So that was the decision for me. Everything else after that was, all right, let's figure it out. If you're doing it for money, I just keep a small team with an assistant. You and maybe a buyer's agent. But that's what it was for me. Sorry for the long answer.